If you want an instant boost on the AP Lang exam, this video is for you. Concession MCQs trip up most students. They waste time on process of elimination and still guess wrong. But once you learn the yes but structure, you can answer them in 10 seconds. I'm showing you exactly how to spot it. Before we start, I want to acknowledge that starting from 2025, there are 4 choices for the MCQ section instead of 5. But I still give my students the 5 choice versions to expose them to more incorrect choices. The more familiar you are with how College Board creates incorrect choices, the quicker you can spot them on the actual exam. Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to CT's AP Cookies. Over the past 7 years, I've helped hundreds of students score a 5 on the exam. I've studied this test inside out so you don't have to. Without further ado, let's get started. Here's the first and second paragraphs of the passage as you rethink about how to best describe the exigence of the passage. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, before we get to the concession questions, let's do a quick warm-up. Question number 1 is a very common type I've covered before. Which of the following best describes the author's exigence in the passage? The key lies in the structure of the first paragraph. The conversation about climate change typically centers, but emerging research suggests we've overlooked. This is a classic move authors use to justify their writing, drawing attention to something important that people have overlooked. So instead of using process of elimination, I am anticipating that the correct answer should say something about an overlooked concern. Choice B matches the discovery of a cognitive impact of climate change that has been neglected. Some students pick choice A, but that's not about expanding research. It's about paying attention to research that already exists. Great. Warm-up question number 2. Which of the following best describes the relationship between the first and the second paragraph? Paragraph 1 and 2 follows a typical move in argumentative writing. Establish a claim that climate change cognitive effects have been overlooked and present the evidence to back up that claim, which is the Harvard and Boston University studies in paragraph 2, so the correct answer is D. Again, don't waste your time on POE. You should anticipate the correct answer as you read the question. Cool, let's move on to the third paragraph and the third question. Pause the video if you need to. Some students pick A because they've learned that italicization usually emphasizes something. That's true, but again, the same rhetorical choice can have different functions in different contexts. Look at how the first 3 sentences logically connect. The first sentence presents a claim about human resilience. The second sentence provides historical evidence. Then the third sentence, starting with but, counters it. The paragraph structure is clear, conceding to a contrasting perspective first, and then rebut starting from the but sentence. The correct answer is B. Signal partial agreement with a view the author will subsequently complicate. The italic functions like indeed. In the past, humans were indeed resilient when confronting heat, but the kind of heat we confront in the age of climate change is different. We haven't developed adaptations that can meet this challenge. The key is recognizing that the author is making a concession in the first and second sentences. Concession often looks obvious. Some people argue that it's true that, however, but competent writers use more subtle, less overt, and more economical structure. The AP Lang exam tests whether you can discern this kind of subtle concession. Right, let's move on to question number 4. See if you can nail this one on your own. Pause the video if you need to. As mentioned before, the second sentence serves as evidence to back up the claim in the first sentence. Both sentences are part of the concession. So the correct answer is B. Acknowledge examples of human adaptation that appear to contradict concerns about heat's cognitive effects. See how fast the question can be tackled. Once you recognize the structure of concession, you already know what the second sentence is doing. No need for process of elimination. Great. The same paragraph and the fifth question. Let's practice another common type of MCQs, contrast. Pause the video if you need to. The correct answer is A. Emphasize the importance of considering adaptation when interpreting the study's findings. The keyword is ambushed. The author is highlighting that people in Chicago experienced cognitive decline because they faced temperature their biology wasn't prepared for. The contrast shows that adaptation matters. The study's results tell us about unadapted populations, not all humans everywhere. Choice B is incorrect because the author isn't clarifying study conditions. Conditions here would mean things like funding levels, lab equipment, sample size, or experimental protocols. The logistical details of how the research was conducted. That's not what the contrast is doing. Choice C is wrong because the distinction isn't between cold and hot climates. The difference is that people in Chicago were hit with unprecedented heat spikes that their body weren't prepared for, not that they come from a cooler climate. Great, let's move on to question number 6. Try applying what we've learned so far. Pause the video if you need to. Again, the structure of concession and rebuttal is subtle, but analyze how the clauses within the sentence logically connect to each other. The answer would become obvious. The first clause concedes to a claim. Humans can survive heat. The middle clause set off by the dashes provides evidence. Arizonans are the proof. Then comes but, and everything pivots. The author shifts from survival to optimal cognitive function. This is classic concession rebuttal compressed into one sentence. The author acknowledges, yes, survival is possible, but survival isn't the point. The point is whether our brains work properly under chronic heat exposure. The correct answer is B. Concede that survival in high temperatures is possible before questioning the cognitive costs. Other than concede, College Board also uses synonyms like acknowledge, admit, grant, accept, recognize, allow for the possibility that. That's concession MCQ for you. The tricky part is recognizing professional writers don't always use words such as "it's true that," "admittedly," "to be fair," "of course," to signal concession. They do it in a less overt way. But once you know this type of concession exists and get used to spotting it, you can identify the correct answers in under 10 seconds. Make sure to check out my MCQ series for more instant boost. And if you're struggling with essays and need personalized feedback, I offer essay review services. Check the description below for more details. Thanks for watching. See you next class.